Добрый вечер, дамы и господа. Монтажка и пакетик снова с вами. Идем к боссу. Я хрен знает, давить на него, не давить. Пиздить его, не пиздить. Ну, скорее всего, нет. Я тут по-русски не пройти. Только в обход. А что мешает? Жизнь?
Before you is a walrus of a
У тебя глаза.
man seated behind a large
Не
desk.
скажу, куда
He
смотреть.
looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by.
Dubois.
Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's...
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Пиздец, блядь. Шансы так себе.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you want, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Хуя, а что, других вариантов нету? Охуеть, у тебя, блядь, тараканчики в голове.
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particularly challenging district. But poverty does not...
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work."
Блять! Это вот так выглядит проигрыш? Я даже не понял, что произошло, блядь. А чё так, блядь, секунду? О май гуднес. Чтоб вот так проебывать, это, блядь, взял ни с того ни с сего, блядь, в пустой беседе, блядь, сдох. Ну, в смысле сдох, в смысле... Ну, в смысле сдох, да. Что влияет на... терпение? Трепет нет, скорость реакции, эквилибристика. Да ничего не влияет, блядь. Самообладание. У меня нет ничего на самообладание. Да? Ну, заебись. Полное здоровье, блядь, мне какой-то жирдяй, блядь, блядь, убил, нахуй. Как? В чем прикол, блядь, непонятно.
Before you is, with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. I'd offer you my...
He looks
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good. Forget about that.
Я
What's
поставил.
with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then,
You're no Titan of Felician, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from us. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes,
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for
Okay, now,
his slug-like lips. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. It's not like you left it loaded.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Officer,
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to...
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Пиздец выбор.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting...
okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a...
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But don't worry. This annoying thing I have is completely legal. I just need you to open a door.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when
Так
he
это не
does,
работает, дружище.
you're going to come out on top.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it... Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Оставить дверь открытой, чтобы они шлепнули стукача? Туру-ту-туру-ту-туру-туру-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту.
Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do. For your sake, my...
Yes, we both understand what you meant.
This may be the only way, he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Пиздос.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and... Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole...
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or...
This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Блять.
I don't care about my gun. I love it, Harry. Wish I could be like that, but I can't. I have a responsibility to this community.
Чё, блядь?
I can't have a loaded gun out in the streets.
The officer is exaggerating. Of course we care about the missing firearm, and we are actively looking...
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I call you... My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends and a good... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Охуенно. Просто охуенно. Ох. Ну, хули нет.
Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume? Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil. Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist. No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave my... Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not... My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all... Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Нет.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Ну заебись. Просто на хуй его гора таблеток. Я сомневаюсь, что пистолет прям у него нахуй.
Yes?
Я думаю, пистолет по описанию у девочки. Он мне просто нахуй разводит эти пистолеты.
Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Блять, ёбаный в рот. Чё? Можно попытаться разговорами открыть Ебать, это так работает? Как это я мимо прошел? Кто вообще работает, блядь? Ну и хули. Толком ничего не получил. Миссию брать по открыванию дверей. Чтобы что?
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. You're like an absurdist Samaran monk. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically more pleasing.
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there? Right. This is probably not relevant to our case. After all, we're not investigating an accounting mystery.
The drawer slides.
Ну-ка еще раз. Секундочку.
The file cabinets, hundreds, and the same you already went through. The drawer slide.
Чудно. Стоп.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air.
83% шанс. Ебать, вот именно поэтому я в покер не играю. Больше.
Sure, why? Nothing tricky about that. You just do, fail, repeat, until it works. All it takes is motivation and practice.
Заебись. Валим нахуй.
The unpromising raise pupil.
Ёбнутый. Ты мешаешь пройти, блядь, упырь.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too. probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do...
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Right to work! Right to work!
Просто чудесно.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the...
Тут хуй что сделаешь. Ой, блядь, журнал, блядь, лучше даже не заглядывать. Пистолет я уже нашел, получу 10 опыта и все. Пистолет больше искать не нужно.
No.
Почему я не могу сигареты купить здесь? Ты что, сигареты не продаются?
You see several packaged raincoats. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Стойкость. Стойкость, блять, мне нужна. Иначе труп не снять.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
Красть дождевик. Да, блять, я могу, да, красть дождевик. Сейчас бы дождевики красть.
Here you go.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. A colorful display. The bottles wink there, in that dark green glass. All
Пиздец. Да. В магазине не продаются сигареты. Жизнь, боль. Идем дальше. Пока не просрал 20 реалов, блядь, пойти заплатить.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Дорого, блядь. А сейчас какой день недели? Значит, завтра откроется только. Да, блять. Ебать, ты в дождевике смотришь как дебил. Больше мне стойкости ничего не дает. Как попасть на крышу, непонятно.
There he still is, looking
Oh.
right through you with his white eyes. The body
С дождевиком вдруг стойкость стала, блядь, пиздец. Что случилось? Все дело в дождевике. А если я резиновые перчатки одену, там, наверное, вообще пиздец, блядь, будет. То 13%, блядь, то... Я не понимаю эту игру. где логика? Или из-за того, что у меня в руках монтажка, блядь, это дает мне стойкости столько. Хуй с вами. Собаки шерстяные.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squint, it's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons.
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under...
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his...
fucking talking about underpants?
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to. A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Нахуя? Чтобы что?
The metal connects with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long dice roll.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until, like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum, violet, and ebony perhaps. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us. That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please...
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Снять с трупа ботинки — дело, конечно, интересное. Честь дороже.
All right then. You can pay the hostel bill in honor points. How many honor points have you collected?
Сука, он хорош, блядь, понимает жизнь. Но все равно.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle tie. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Right now, everything seems to fit their confession.
Нет.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. Limbs limp, an intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure. I agree.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera.
A Trigger Sunshine, Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices. primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical talents. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as his eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Нихуя себе, блядь.
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just...
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build. Good. The victim is of Occidental descent. Light brown hair, blue eyes.
When he says Occidental, he means white. Originally from the Occidental subcontinent on Muindi. The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of this is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something.
So, what do you think?
Блять, я думаю, что он труп.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head.
You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced.
Maybe it looks faint to you? It could be more pronounced, actually. Dûment noté. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
The pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Maybe.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostril.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink.
Да, нахуй.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Someone else? You mean like the police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
No. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Отпилить ветку здорово, у тебя пила есть? Нет.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a danger.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Точно нет. Потянуть за ботинок, оторвать ему бошку.
Yes, we do. Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there... Okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way. Hooray for us. To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to accomplish this feat ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
Охуенный план. Охуенные идеи. Охуенный пиздец. Так.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar. The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar. Gone. For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without someone who knows about history could tell you.
Оуш, нам сгин, бля. Ладно, стойкость мне уже... Спасибо, не надо, называется. Что мне для жизни нужно? Непонятно. Кунь.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Эмпатия, да, блядь. -1 эмпатия. Я заебусь ее поднимать.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Куна похуй. Есть мне что-нибудь, что поднимает неебически эмпатию? Охуеть. Похуй, что носить. Не знаю, что тебя ждет. Просто концептуализация минус внушение. А, вот на что. А у меня больше рубашек. Только это. Зато с монтажкой в руке. Да, блять, по болторезам что, нельзя было? Хотя да, все равно придется наверх забираться. Пиздец, блять.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, Pig?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here. Get the fuck.
I'll die before I squeal, Pig.
Эти за забором.
Stay away from me, Pig. You don't want to see what happens when you call.
Чудно. Чудесно. Прелестно.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you? Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other...
No one has been guarding the container yard since last...
Yes! It's not actually an issue.
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded Indian.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabineers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Сука. Это сильно. Это сильно.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affair.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, yes. like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Интересно, есть у меня что-нибудь на самообладание? Наверняка нету. Только если вкачивать. А нахуй... Нахуя вкачивать, да? Или нет? Или что я получу?
What's this? We're getting reports of
Так, надо
normal,
покурить. Просто
reasonable,
порыв мозга, ладно.
temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Incrementally, history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, it's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Да похуй.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time.
Ебись на конем и в голову. И чё? Хуёв. А, ладно. Блять. Что я хотел вкачать, я забыл. Самообладание? Да, оно мне нужно, да? Точно самообладание? Друг.
Vigilance officer?
Да.
What can this all carry?
Да пиздец, блядь. Ну давайте. Все, больше не могу.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabiner do for you?
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and is ribbed too. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles this. A crowned head in front of two crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery. A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valley. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
For bravery. For doing my duty in the heat of battle, for looking my mortality in the eye, when men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken. King Frizzell thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatoo feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the assassination?
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly...
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Coron. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee. I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Joe Lestresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. He didn't. I hoisted the prick on my back and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jailless freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not well.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth. The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drison, and that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody... How did you find the story to be, officer?
Bon Dieu. You and Gaston must be related. His blood rat.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't end this out. Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands...
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand. Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please, bring those days back.
I'm not getting into this with you again.
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Нахуя? Ну отлично. Теперь я могу еще что-то прокачать. Когда-нибудь, что-нибудь, когда мне ничего не понадобится. Отлично. Чудно. Ты-то что, старый пердун? Или это общение сразу с двумя? Ну-ка съяви.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope you're...
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need... Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her bread.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was René and I were both by her bedside when she...
Died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back.
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met. She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
Эх, бабы. Блять.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Let me think.
Я,
I
оказывается, сегодня
heard
не общался.
someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really...
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows.
Respect!
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already...
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath, and there he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll. Just for...
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence, never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are.
Well, he tells his little penman exactly what to say. It's communist propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer. Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a...
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
Блять.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want. Even if it's nothing...
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time. Oh, that's the cochonnet. Well, first, then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet. I could, but you'll put that knowledge to good use in 20... I mean...
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
Oh, Ну и что у нас остается? Это завтра откроется, правильно? В 9 часов нужно с чувачком встретиться. Нужно сообщить по рации.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox,
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby. Startled right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio.
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called? Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a put.
Чудесненько. Прелестненько. Хуево гора одежды. Невнятные предметы, которые можно, по сути, загнать. Но пока загонять не будем. Дем. О, боже. Закройте шлюз в среду. Найдите сигареты, покурите. Найдите свое удостоверение. Кто сложил одежду в мусор? Блять.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
У меня что, эмпатия в говне, что ли? Давно ли? Эмпатия это где? Это здесь. Должно быть. Или даже... Нет. Вот она. Да, эмпатия в говне. Хуй знает. Настолько я эмпатию вряд ли подниму. И одежда, которая дает мне эмпатию, я тоже вряд ли где-нибудь раздобуду. Куда можно съебаться? Поговорить с тетенькой, которая там, это сам, или сразу бежать туда, просить помощи по снятию трупов? Основной квест. Да, походу это так. Давай сначала к тетеньке зайдем. Если я смогу пройти. Пиздец, конечно. Дружище, ты чего? Нахуй мне этот книжный магазин, нахуй мне эта тетенька, я вообще без интереса. Нихуя себе.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Can't you tell? I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff. Like, we rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cabs. And my name's not Mona, so... Yeah? Thanks.
She means the opposite.
Кстати, она его скверняет. На лгу сам себе. Как-то жизненно, мать его.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. Am I right? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, Worm-like corruption. Reaching in...
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not...
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt Worm myself. However, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Of course, Detective. Should something come... Until then, is there anything I can help you with? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire?
Can't you? I haven't really started it. This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can I thought I'd mix it up. You know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized Yeah?
Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Climb up there?
You heard your partner, Piggy. I'm unstoppable.
То чувство.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Can't you tell? I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right... This place... I thought I'd mix it up. You know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos. Have you ever... We rarely see pigs round it. Yeah?
Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Throw her off the balcony?
You heard your partner, Piggy. I'm unstoppable.
Unstoppable, говорит. Я худею. Подняться наверх, да. Сбросить, нет. Чё, блять? Где? Где это?
It's the letter you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's been...
Выписать штраф не? Никак? О, очень жаль. Чудно. Просто чудесно. Ладно, остается... Ничего не остается. Идем творить хуйню. Что меня печалит. Тут я уже все спиздил.
There it is.
Huh?
He sounds tired of it all. Sinitha Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
If you must.
Не понял. Что это было?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire?
What for? Well, if it's for art, but what kind of art are we talking about? Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience.
Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything really.
Я хуй знает нахуя, что, зачем. Ну раз требуется концептуализация.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Нихуя, у меня концептуализация как бы дохуя. Прям хуева гора. И все равно не хватает. Пожалуйста.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
They do say the painter always paints his own portrait. No, it's great.
Пиздец, нахуй, блять. А можно, блять, все, хватит. Все, пошли отсюда.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo. You're a real sad sack. Oh, but I'm all out of fuel oil.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Are you kidding me? Fuel oil is so much cooler. No way you're disfiguring that beautiful wall with something as pedestrian as ordinary paint.
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to contain your artistic impulses, but please, leave my kinema out of it.
Ай, блядь. Какая же это все-таки хуйня? Какой хуйней я занимаюсь? А все для чего? Не знаю для чего. Для чего? Чтобы что? Мать его, идти. Надеюсь, я не пожалею об этом. Точнее, уже пожалел. Надо было качать грубую силу и уже давно раздавать пиздюляторов. Твою мать. Пролетарка.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. Mm-hmm. What with?
Чтобы что? Зачем?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends?
Where is this going, officer?
Блять, я не буду в этом участвовать. Просто подошел, доебался
She gives
на.
you a short nod and shifts her attention back to books. The woman before.
Все, нахуй, вы чё, блядь? Это же, блядь, пиздец. Не, ну серьезно, конечно, я мог бы тыкаться во все подряд, но не настолько же. Так, по большей части этим занимаюсь. Ущерб.
Looking for something?
Да, ищу бутылки. Понятно, почему они не пускают. Не хотят. Но вопрос, какой вопрос, такой ответ. Какой ответ, такой вопрос. Тук-тук. Ага, здесь ты что-то
The
требуешь.
file cabinet stands steady as ever. The
Всё,
drawer
вот.
slide.
Чудеса. Какая же это все-таки хуйня? Меня, блядь, просто принуждают временами действовать так, как мне не очень хочется. Ну ладно, выбора нет. Нет.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel.
Oh my! Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you. See you soon.
Надеюсь, нет. Так просто? Я думал, блядь, будут торговаться как последний этот самый. Беготня. Беготня, беготня. Как на эту крышу попасть? Непонятно, нихуя. А там что-то есть. Мне что нужно? С собой лестницу где-то брать? В кармане таскать лестницу? Вопросы без ответов.
The unpromising race pupil returns. So it was. My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the...
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but. But, while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Он бошку оторвет нахуй тому чупу.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Cool, I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Evrod's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on.
Просто заебись, ну ладно. Да, ну ёб твою мать. Ты что, спуститься не можешь? Че, серьезно? Чё, Куна, все?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Прекрасно. Сука. Это если там, блядь, в скобочках сарказм бы написали, я б, может быть, так посаркастировал, но, блядь, это пиздос. Хотя, теперь у меня репутация такая.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing menu.
The fuck are they on about?
Куна, блядь. Вот я тебе пизды когда не дам.
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, to social work, everything. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Увы.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next
KK57-0803.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0850. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Next, NA. Next, NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial. Subgroup Occidental. As per your observation.
The pudgy mess looks neither mondial nor occidental. It doesn't even look. As you read it, you think, that leaves out dark-haired Mesk, Sal, Sarah Mauritian, Kedratic. Lighter-skinned occidental means this man could be Vespertine, Oranese, Messinian. Those three are a solid guess, Mr. Racial Profiler.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable.
We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 081.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then...
we should start the postmortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See? It's happening?
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temp. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Что за хуйня? Нахуя? Легонько.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair starts. There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Lividity is consistent with hanging, albeit faint, as noted. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem.
Fucking low velocity. You think Bruno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edge. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation,
Я бы
you
удивился,
sink the
если, блядь,
cutters into the knot, tying
была
the
бы
belt
неудача,
together.
блядь.
You
Это было бы
squeeze the
просто
rubber
эпично.
handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Изучить гениталии. Чтобы... Я не детектив. Я пытаюсь найти логику. Блять. Но я точно порадую этих мелких пиздюков. Поверю Киму нахуй.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering...
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a real museum here. But last item, hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Центральная нервная система. Че, идиот? Чисто в прикол.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your inside. You see darkness. Mute silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Ебись, ну конем, блядь.
Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to... And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right. Next. Nothing. Just in case. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. Then, given the state of decay here, I consider establishing the victim's ethnicity. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Внутренняя империя. Я могу как-нибудь восприятие. Секунду. Стой. Я еще не закончил. Чё мне из одежды дает внутреннюю империю? Ничего. Что там еще требовалось, блядь? Восприятие. Да, вроде как у меня все, что есть, все одето, блядь, я бы сказал. Все равно мне не хватает. Как это, блядь, работает? Тут просто честно.
The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Восприятие 5. Не трать время попусту, ты же не дурак. Установил возможную причину. Минус. Понятно, что уменьшает. Ну, давай внутреннюю империю.
I'm gone. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past, way out in the west. The blue heart. Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down. Fuck it hard. Corpo Bodak.
He means force. It'll work.
I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes. I'm a killer, a motherfucker, and a killer. Go ahead, Coppo. What do you mean? It's the power of your... Imagine. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Rooney the mother. Because you have. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure I got out of that one? Coppellini.
Нахуя?
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast. It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know...
Fuck are you looking at, being old man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get...
Only if all else fails.
Or remember the buttons on that intercom over there, on the side of the building next to the Whirling? One was for Revachol Ice City.
Нахуя, блядь, запаковал бы и нахуй в пизду. Ты чё?
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Нахуя? Что я наделал? Блять, а что, отменить нельзя? Чудо. Заебись. Нахуя, блять? Ладно. Куня. Секунду.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaut. Kuno doesn't fuck.
Да, блять.
Can I help you? Yes, yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead...
Corrected.
Well, I have a fridge, and you're not putting it here. Because this is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. I can't believe you...
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No. The answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of...
Let's go talk to the frit clerk.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Да уж. Уж да уж. Да вы гоните. Чего-то не хватает. Кабелька. Переходника. Простите, я о своем, а женском. Так, вот он. Сюда иди. Туда не ходи, сюда ходи. Снег башка попадет. Пиздец какой-то, блядь. Надо было, блядь, паковать его нахуй и не париться. Чё, почему, блядь, нельзя, блядь, вернуться назад? Чё, нет? Не ты? Не понял. Да, потеря.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face.
No. Talk to Titus.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. Right behind you. You're joking, right? Okay. It wouldn't even fit, you know.
Now that I'm looking at it, Maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse.
Okay. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what for it does.
She scrunches up her face into an expression of consummate.
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Чудно. Ну и нахуя? Ну и чтобы что? Охуеть. Ебать. Я ищу логику, ее нет. Господи.
Fuck does Kuno care? For the fuck him. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing. Bacon Man's in a rush, but what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
By killing in his territory, someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his best interest to put them in their place. A dark flame smolders in Kuno's eyes as he ponders your argument, wordless, like kings do.
Alright, Kuno hears ya. See that shit house over there?
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus there, casting a shadow on you.
You gotta get in that shit. In there, deep. Through the bookstore, you gotta beg the book bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the doorbell, jam that shit. Book bitch changed that. Kuno doesn't beg, so Kuno doesn't go there anymore. Yeah, book bitch, beggar.
He means the bookstore. We have to ask. Plaisance is the mother of the little girl peddling books on the plaza. We have to ask Plaisance in the store.
Impressive note-keeping, Lieutenant.
See, the cloud gets it. Listen to your four-eyed friend.
Сука, такой урод. Ну такой стёбный, блядь.
Check the fucking basement, pig. Don't you know anything? Always check the fucking basement, recon style. There's a giant fridge down there. Fucking will fit, no problem. It looks like a white bird or some shit. Try not to piss yourself when you see it.
A white bear? A polar bear?
You didn't hear it from Kuno, pig. But don't forget where you heard it from.
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Чем дальше, тем стремнее. Блять. Просто какой-то пиздос. Надо заканчивать, иначе завтра я на работу не проснусь. Где-то в глубине души я думаю, что его в любом случае нужно было класть в морозилку. Потому что увезти тело мы бы не смогли. Потому что я хуй знает, как отсюда вообще выбраться, если там снизу эта хуйня закрыта, а впереди порт. Здравствуйте, логика, основанная на своих оправданиях.